All right, go ahead and state your name and what you do.
All right, T. Thompson, just the initial T to make it simple. I'm the sponsorship manager here at the Little Brown Jug, and my grandfather, Hank Thompson, was co-founder of the Little Brown Jug, and it's kind of in our blood, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, so how was it coming up in like the family, the Thompson family of like the co-founder of the Little Brown Jug?
Right. It was, I wasn't really involved as a kid. I would come up more to the fair. So I didn't see my dad and grandfather back here working in the log cabin. Occasionally mom would bring us up, but we'd watch a race or two. Didn't really get involved until high school, and that's when I learned, how prestigious this is and what a great event we have here in Delaware, Ohio.
What happened in high school?
So back in the day, and I'll age myself, when I got my driver's license, my dad was the race secretary here, and I was his errand boy. So I got out of school for a whole week. And back then they had a car dealer that sponsored, and they put official Little Brown Jug on the sides of these cars, and I would run to the bank for them. I would pick up people at the airport if I needed to. Whatever they needed me to do, I was doing it. So it was a lot of fun, and I did that for 3 years through high school. And then I went to college, but I always found a way to get back here, at least on Jug Day during college. So that's how I got involved.
If you look back, how does it feel knowing that what your family has started has such a big impact in the community? I mean, if you look at the high school, it's named Delaware Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Just there's all these like harness racing,
Right.
artwork and everything all over the town.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Correct. It's very humbling. It's amazing to see it with all the backstretch restaurant. I mean, this is the backstretch at the fairgrounds. That's how they got their name. So it's very humbling. A lot of people don't realize what the impact it is. You go down to southern tier of Delaware County, they don't know what the Jug is, and a lot of them probably don't even come up to the city of Delaware. They don't. I mean, they might know Ohio Wesleyan, but they have no need to come up here. But it's very, very interesting. People always ask, you have such a cool job. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a job. I mean, I'm very passionate about it. So to walk downtown and see the memorabilia and the things, the city closes for the day and things like that, it's very, very cool.
Like 1-year-olds right now, and like 2-year-olds.
2-year-olds. 2-year-olds are out there. Yeah.
You've been to other harness racing
Mm-hmm.
competitions. Can you compare the Little Brown Jug to those ones?
Yeah, I'm biased, and I'm going to tell you that up front. But there's some really good ones. I've been to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. They have the Hambletonian, which races for about $1 million. And that's a trotting race, totally different. And they race on a mile track. I've been to Canada, to Woodbine. They're all great. It's just what you grew up with and what you're used to. If you're a horse owner, you don't care where you're racing, you just want your horse to win, right? But there's a lot of horses that don't like half-mile tracks too, because they don't race on them. They ship them in for a race, like from New Jersey, where they've raced on a mile track, so they don't know, going 2 laps around the track. It takes some getting used to. So, but yeah, they're all great. They're all good places. So I enjoy every minute of it.
One thing I remember, I don't remember who told us this, but the one thing that's so unique about the Little Brown Jug is how it's so approachable for fans, where fans can go up to these stables.
Correct.
And talk to these racers.
Correct. And come back here on Jug Day, and there's going to be 8, 10, 12, 15 people deep, but they're walking the horses right past them to get to the paddock so they can go race. So yeah, you won't get that at the Meadowlands. You won't get that really anywhere. And we are classified a county fair, and you can get that at county fairs, but not all county fairs are going to have the horses racing for a part of the Triple Crown, or for $700,000 like we race for here.
So earlier, one of these you guys asked you a question that had something to do with fans. Can you tell us some stories or any information about the fans that you know who come back year after year? Some special things that people do, say costumes or things
Yeah.
of that sort.
You know, there's a lot of people as I pass through that they say I've only missed one jug, you know, and there's people that take vacation. I mean, the international crowd we get here now. I mean, there's a group from Australia. There's a bus back here of Canadians. They take a week's vacation to come here. So, and you know, costumes and things of that nature. We've never been like a derby and have a hat contest or things like that. And we've talked about possibly doing that. It takes it a little while to build up. But you know, it's the horse industry is a thriving thing here in Ohio, and we have a lot to thank to the governor, the previous governor, with what they've done to help it. So purses are increasing. You know, we'll get the best horses here, but the fans, it's just like I said, it's a destination. People need to experience it themselves one time, and they're going to be hooked.
Okay, so when you say like, you guys are doing things to get people to come, what are some things that like you're installing? You know, are that
Well, you know, when they get here, we want the experience to, you know, something that they'll never ever experience anywhere else if they go to a harness track. And it's hard because we have a half-mile track. It's the smallest that they race on. You know, but if you ever get the chance to ride in the starting gate before the race and the horses are right up on it, you know, we're working to get them where they may not do it during a live race, but they can get the experience just off to the side, you know, where they can feel the adrenaline rush of the horses and things like that. You know, promotions, things of that nature. Things that are going to, you know, appeal to them. You know, we're just starting that. I mean, we've laxed on that. And we know our demographics. It's just an aging population and that watches harness racing. So we need to get the younger people involved. So, you know, is it going to happen overnight? No, but we have things to do. We have our work cut out.
Okay, so your experience with like the fans, what has that been like over the years?
You know, it's awesome. In today's age, it's difficult, and it happens at every racetrack. But the fans that come here, they know why they're here. They're here to watch the greatest harness race ever, in my opinion. And a lot of them think that too. But with today's age and being able to gamble on your phone, sports betting, all that, people don't have to be on the premises. So that's one of the things that I'm tasked with, is to, you know, make it an experience for people to come. So, you know, they're awesome. You've been up here at the fair. We have the big pavilion hill, and you know, those people want to come. They're going to watch the horse race. The grandstands aren't as full anymore. We're trying to find ways to get the younger crowd to come up. You know, college students. You know, we've got 3 colleges within, you know, a half hour of here that, you know, High Wesleyan, High State, Otterbein. You know, we're working on ways to get the younger crowd here. The tough thing is it's on a Thursday afternoon. So, but it's also, you know, a blessing that it's on a Thursday. We don't have to compete with Ohio State football or all these other sporting events. So, but the fans, they're here for one reason, and it's for the greatest harness racing there is.
Your grandfather's the one that helped start the race. Right?
Correct.
What was he like?
He was, the most, I would say, the kindest man, gentlest man. There wasn't a person in Delaware that he wouldn't say hi to. I mean, he would walk up to you and just start a conversation. Very personable, soft-spoken, unless he really got upset, of course, but I never saw that in my entire life. Just even-keeled, didn't have a temper. When things went out of whack here with the races for whatever reason, or even at the newspaper, he just even-keeled and, loving, great-grandfather. I remember times every Sunday, especially this week, Masters Week, we would go down to his house and watch the Masters with him because he loved to golf, and it was a lot of fun.
He cared like a lot about this race.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've heard the story of how this was founded. Him and Joe Neville, local attorney here in town, they were having races at the fair, and they were given the proposition to have a major stakes race here and part of the Grand Circuit, and they decided they weren't going to do it. Well, Joe Neville forgot to send the telegram, and so they were supposed to send this telegram, yes or no. Well, they didn't send the telegram, so they said, well, you're going to have the race now. And so that's how the Little Brown Jug was started. So, yeah, he was very involved.
Do you have any staple memories of, your experience of working the jug and, again, just coming up in the family, things that stuck out to you that sit with you today?
Wow. Yeah, one big one. So my grandfather, Hank, his second wife, they owned a horse together, Mackenzie Amherst. And so that would have been in '86, I believe. I might have that date wrong. But he was entered into the jug, won its division, and came back for the final and broke stride. But, just the hype of having, not my horse, but it was in the family. It was very, very cool to see that. And that's the only horse that our family's ever had to be in the Little Brown Jug. So, but it was a lot of fun.
When you say break stride, I don't know the vernacular. What does that mean?
So, they're pacers, and so something spooked the horse possibly, or, a horse got in its way and it had a misstep, so it breaks its stride. And, lucky there's, it happens quite often more with trotters than pacers, but it still happens. So that horse has got to try and get out far from the rail of the racetrack and, get the horse under control. And usually the horse ends up coming in last just because everyone's passing by it. So that's what the break stride is.
If you could go back and talk about your time, not just at the Little Brown Jug, but at the Delaware County Fair when you were a child, describe what that was like. What was it like there?
It's so much different back then, especially for the Little Brown Jug. We raced for 5 days a week, 5 days for 1 week, and the crowds we would get were so much bigger. I mean, the grandstands were full and everything. So I just remember the people. Delaware's a destination if you're a harness racing fan, and you need to come to the grounds and experience it yourself. But as a kid, like I said, I was more of the fair side. I was just playing as a kid, I got some perks here and there, but, nothing big. And so we'd come up here and eat our Dumbo ears and our French fries and all that stuff, but just normal kid stuff. Play the games. I still had to pay for games, so there were no perks like that, but, it was just being a kid.